What's up, YouTube? Lord Xander here, coming to you with another video. Alright, so this is a EDC video. I'm not exactly, like a doomsday prepper or anything like that. I have a family and kids, and that drastically lowers your chances of surviving that zombie apocalypse because of that fact. But anyways, I do have this big bag full of stuff that I'm not going to show you right now, but I want to focus on some very basic and necessity stuff that I would recommend you have. All right, so let's start with the cantina. All right, so it's a pretty cool cantina, and it could also, not only store your water and stuff, would also be used for cooking because of okay, sorry, I'm just gonna put this all right, so here you can boil water, I don't know, use it for a soup or something. Of course, this is mostly metal. The plastic cap, you have to be careful with that, so, in a fire, because it'd be melting. So that's the feature I don't like about that. But, it's pretty cool. You could, use that for, to boil your water, fire, cooking. This stuff is mostly good for camping. Maybe not for when the S hits the fan, but check that out. That's pretty cool. Again, great use for fire and stuff. And you can strap this like on your waist. So get yourself a good cantina, and again, it says multi-purpose. All right, and here I have a collapsible shovel. So yes, there are negatives to this. These are more susceptible to breaking, but you have many different parts. And I have taken this to like the beach and stuff. So I gotta get some good oil in there and clean out that sand. But this has possibly use that to break glass. And ooh, that's kind of stuck. That's not good. I'm going to come back to that later. We got to clean your gear, folks. Very important. So, collapsible shovel. There's a saw in here and other stuff I can't show you, but I'll have to clean that out later. Don't want to make a super duper long video. All right, so here I have a fire bag. All right, so I have a strap so I can, maybe put that in my backpack, Molly or whatever. But, a little bottle opener, not super sufficient, but okay, I have shown this bag in other videos, but, everything that you could use to make a fire. Collapsible saw blade. Then I got my Cadmus. This is good for processing wood. I have used this, so the blade's pretty sharp. Use it for batoning wood. And of course, in this bag, just open up. I got a stick in here for, and again, I wrap this up in a cardboard and duct tape so I won't tear up the bag here because it's a little cloth bag. Ta-da! An auger, and just put the stick in there. Processing wood. All right, so I got some you know, tape in here, good fire extender. Got 2 flashlights in here. Cut-proof gloves, cut-resistant gloves, luminous sticks. You know, flint and steel. Okay, again, to make a fire. Pretty cool. I got matches here, but I gotta make them like water and wind resistant. So I saw some videos on that. Emergency whistle. And I got some matches, just gotta make that fireproof. You know, your old school way of making fire, you know. And of course, once you run out of fuel, you can still use you know, the flint in here to make it all still a lot of fire, so that's a good thing. And classic Zippo. Okay, so again, you can, maybe I ran out of fuel for the things to dry, but anyways. I gotta check that maybe the heat dried up the gas, but that's alright, because I got more where that came from. If I had a bigger bag, I could have my you know, survival torch in here. This thing's pretty cool. I plan to carry that along petroleum jelly. That's good for making fires. Zippo. Again, I'm gonna check this out for my maybe the cloth dried up. And then butane, because I do have another lighter, so good stuff to have on you. All right, so leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of my kind of EDC. I do keep this in my trunk. I'll show the first aid kit in another video, so make sure you have that you know, subscribe button. You know, make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment. It helps the algorithm. And share this video. All right, love you lots. Bye bye. Gotta work on this.